This is it, the coffee house. One.
Sitting or facing me.
This video is my final one from New York City, at least for this year. But I've got a tip for you. If you're coming to New York City in January, February or March 2024, I've secured a 15% discount for you at the lodge in Red Hook, where we have been staying on this trip. If you'd like to take advantage, check for the discount code in the description of this video.
My goodness, I love these sunny, crisp days you get here in New York City. Something that we do get in Scotland as well, but they're more rare. We get a lot of wet days in the winter time and autumn as well. You guys just seem to get loads of bright sunny days. Good morning from Red Hook, Brooklyn. It is sadly our last day here. Not even a full day because we're flying home tonight. But we've got enough time to go into New York City, into Manhattan, and walk around Red Hook. And I want to show you something if you're staying here in Red Hook and why you might consider staying here in Red Hook. Because, well, there is a metro here about a 15-minute walk, which we've been using, an underground subway line, which is in Brooklyn. You have to walk 15 minutes. The best way to get to Manhattan, in my point of view, from here in Red Hook, is by ferry boat. Now, it's not that frequent here. It comes like once every hour or so. But if you time it right, if you look at the timetable, it's a great way to get around New York from right here in Red Hook. Fantastic, the best way. There's no way better to travel New York City than by ferry, in my opinion, because you get such a good view. Love this sign right here. Bagel secured from a very highly rated bagel place right here in Red Hook, but we can't sit here and eat it because we need to run for the ferry. We can't miss it, basically. So we want to get this one. We're going to get ferry and then we're going to see the sights on the ferry. That's the great thing about the transport. You get transport while you see the sights. And then we're going to eat the bagel probably when we get to the other side. Wowza! The high water mark from Hurricane Sandy, I guess, here in Red Hook was quite severe. This place is a little bit hard to find, this ferry terminal, but I think we've found it now. It's quite industrial around here. Yeah, we found it. I can see it. I can see the ferry dock. See if I can remember how to use this ferry. If in doubt, always look for the blue sign. 11.20. How much did that cost?
$4 each.
$4 each for the ferry. Not bad. Alright. That's us on the ferry. We've been on it loads of times before, we know what it's about, but it's cool every time we come. Not gonna lie, it's quite breezy up here. How's that for a view though? It's quite breezy, quite chilly. There's a fresh wind coming right down the Hudson. Going down the steps on a moving ferry is interesting. Woo. A wee bit seasick. Hands down, the best way to get around New York City. No question about it. We're on dry land now, almost though. We're on the docks. Just thinking to myself as well, if you work in Wall Street, which many people who live here in New York do, and you live in Red Hook, I mean, surely that is the best commute ever, and maybe in the whole world. It's just perfect. It's a great way to start the day. Makes you feel happy, it gets you on the water, fresh air in your hair. Amazing. And then you're here within 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes. Also, like you said, if you guys are staying in Red Hook, if you come to visit and you're staying at the lodge, perhaps, it's a very, very close walk. 5-minute walk and you're on the ferry. And we're right in downtown Manhattan. This right here behind me is Wall Street, centre of the financial universe.
Connection is available to the rear of the platform.
Now we're kind of like in the opposite extreme of Wall Street, right? I think it's Greenwich Village we're walking through. And it's a totally different vibe. It really is like a village. There's like these old big trees. All the houses here are like old townhouse style. And it's just very quaint. A quaint spot in the middle of New York City, the middle of Manhattan. And we're only just a few metro stops away from Wall Street. It's kind of nuts. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Wow, some of these pumpkins. I've seen better days, I think. Time to put them away. That really is the cool thing about this city, about this place, is that you really do find something for everyone, whether it is the bustling city vibe or a nice little quiet spot like this. You can kind of hide away a little bit and get a bit more peace and quiet.
It has been a trip full of good food in New York, and that's pretty much always the case when we come here. Our final meal was with friends at a highly rated Italian place called Anton's. And it was probably the highlight of our food adventures of this entire trip.
That was a really good lunch at an Italian place, Anton's. I've decided I think Greenwich Village is probably my new favourite spot in New York. I've never actually passed here in Greenwich Village during the daylight before. I've only been here at night. And it's a different vibe. And especially now with all the autumn colours. It's really magical. I think when we make it to New York, when we make it to New York and we come to live here, we'll live in Greenwich Village, deal? We'll buy a place here easily, no problem. But actually we're here in this particular street for one reason, because there's lots of reasons why I love New York City. I've told you about the pop culture stuff, the YouTube culture that's in New York, with the vloggers and stuff, but the original reason that I fell in love with New York and really loved it here, both I think probably for me and Tekka, is the fact that we were both massive fans of Friends. Now you'll obviously know the news that very sadly Matthew Perry from Friends, the actor that played Chandler, sadly passed away recently. And right here in front I can actually see the group of people who have come to pay their respects for Matthew Perry, who was one of the favourite characters. Because the Friends building, even though they didn't film the series here in New York City, they filmed in LA, they filmed the outside of a building which was their apartment. And it's right here in front of us. Look, marathon. So yeah, here we are outside the Friends' apartment. And cafe, the famous cafe, which was called what?
Central Park?
Central Park, right there. They've closed the street off here. Obviously there's a lot of people come take photos and videos and stuff like us. They've closed the street off because there was a bunch of flowers here. Lots of people are coming to pay their respects to the death of Matthew Perry. Again, very, very, very sad. We were massive fans, and it's one of the reasons I fell in love with New York, and initially thinking this is a place I want to come and live was because of Friends. We were both huge fans, right?
Yeah, so nice.
So, yeah, really, really sad news. But they've taken the flowers away that were laid here for Matthew Perry, which is a bit weird. And they've closed the street off entirely, though. There and up that way, there's like metal grates blocking people from coming here and laying flowers, I guess. A bit weird. But anyway, the Friend's house, iconic location. This is it, the coffee house.
You like sitting facing me.
The original inspiration for me to come to New York City and fall in love with this place. A lot of people ask me that, why do you like New York so much? And I always kind of give a vague answer of like pop culture. We'll get a lot of American pop culture on TV in the UK, which is true. But the original reason was definitely, I think a lot of people who were kind of like teenagers in the 90s and early 2000s, was Friends, right? That was the original inspiration for me. They got to kind of know this place and think that must be cool place. And then as I grew up, there was other inspirations, including like YouTube vloggers like Casey Neistat, for example, who did such an amazing job of showing this place. And again, my kind of curiosity just grew over the years by watching that type of content. Films like Home Alone as well, obviously. I love it here. I would come and live here in a heartbeat if I can. But yeah, back to this point. Started with Friends for me. Matthew Perry, Chandler, what a character, what a guy.
This was a sad ending for our trip to New York City. And we're also sad to be leaving the USA and going back home to Scotland. Our current USA road trip is at an end. I do have about 10 videos to show you from my trip to Savannah in Georgia down to the Florida Keys, and they will appear on this channel in spring 2024. As I said on a video on my channel a few weeks ago, I only have about 25 days annually of holiday from my day job every year. And doing the math, if I post a video every single week, I can't possibly make every single video I post on this channel about my USA road trips. As much as I'd love to live like that. So, we will be back for more USA road trips. But for the moment, I'll be posting videos from Scotland and our other European road trips right here on this channel in the near future.
Top tip for you, if you are in Manhattan and you like cookies, come to a place called Milk and get the cornflake, chocolate chip and marshmallow cookie. It is delicious. Heavenly.
New York City will always be special to us, and I can safely say we will be back again and again.